Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Tuesday, June 28th, 2022. Today I'm going to recap yesterday's Major League Baseball and WNBA games and look ahead to today's games in each sport. I will go over yesterday's results from the Wimbledon, look ahead to today's matches in each men's and the women's. I'll do my NHL mock draft. That's my second one. We have a couple primaries to talk about today on the show, news and notes, and my best bet of the day. We're going to start with Major League Baseball. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to today. Yankees over the A's 9-5, Nats over the Pirates 3-2, Blue Jays over the Red Sox 7-2, Twins over the Guardians 11-1, Cardinals over the Marlins 9-0, Rangers over the Royals 10-4, Rockies over the Dodgers 4-0, Angels over the White Sox 4-3, and the Orioles over the Mariners 9-2. All right, now we look ahead to today's games. 1 o'clock, doubleheader game 1 between the Twins and the Guardians. Devin Smeltzer and Zach Plesac. The game is not posted on FanDuel for some reason, and DraftKings has some issues this morning. So if I had to make a blind pick for this game, I'll consider the Guardians depending on what the odds are. But I'll also consider the total if it's anything beneath 8.5. 7 o'clock, you have the Braves and the Phillies. Charlie Morton and Zach Wheeler. Good pitching matchup on paper. Phils minus 116, Braves minus 102, over under 8, overs minus 106, unders minus 114. Braves minus 1.5, plus 164. Phillies plus 1.5 is minus 200. I'm going to go lay the minus 116 with the Phillies. 60.7% chance to win according to ESPN Analytics, and they're minus 116. So I'm going to go with the Phillies. I think that's a low number. Athletics Yankees, Frankie Montas and J.P. Sears getting the start for New York today. Yanks minus 205, A's plus 172, over under 8, overs minus 112, unders minus 108. A's plus 1.5 is minus 125, Yankees minus 1.5 is plus 104. Tough one, but I'm going to go with the over because we saw yesterday how bad the A's bullpen is, and that's where I think the Yankees can come into play with a big offensive rally. Pirates Nationals, Jose Quintana and Patrick Corbin. Nats minus 120, Pirates plus 102, over under 9.5, overs even money, unders minus 122. Pittsburgh plus 1.5 is minus 200, Nats minus 1.5 is plus 164. I'm going to go with the Pirates. 51.6% chance according to ESPN Analytics, and they're plus 102, so give me Pittsburgh. Red Sox Nationals, Michael Wacha and Ross Stripling. Blue Jays minus 144, Red Sox plus 122, over under 10, overs minus 105, unders minus 115. Boston plus 1.5 is minus 164, Blue Jays minus 1.5 is plus 136. I'm debating Red Sox or the under. I like the under for this game. I think 10 is high. TBS, Astros, Mets from Citi Field. Framber Valdez and Carlos Carrasco. Astros minus 120, Mets plus 102, over under 8, overs minus 120, unders minus 102. Astros minus 1.5 is plus 146, Mets plus 1.5 is minus 176. I'm going with the Mets plus 102. They're 51.9% according to ESPN Analytics. Brewers Rays, Brandon Woodruff and Shane Baz. Rays minus 120, Brewers plus 102, over under 7, overs minus 122, unders even money. Brewers plus 1.5 is minus 225, Rays minus 1.5 is plus 184. This is a hard one. So for this one, I'm going to go with the first half total runs over 3.5 at minus 115. Doubleheader game 2 between the Twins and the Guardians. Josh Winder and Connor Pilkington. This game isn't posted yet either. But if the Guardians are favored if the Twins are favored, I'm going to go with the Guardians. 7:45, Marlins Cardinals. Braxton Garrett and Dakota Hudson. Cards minus 162. Marlins plus 136. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 104. Actually, it just changed on me on the fly. It's minus 110 each way now. Marlins plus 1.5 is minus 150. Cardinals minus 1.5 is plus 125. I don't feel great about it, but I'm going to go with the over. Because I could see, like, the bullpens, like, coming apart a little bit here. 8 o'clock, the Reds and the Cubs. Luis Castillo and Keegan Thompson. Cubs minus 116. Reds minus 102. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 102. Unders minus 120. Reds minus 1.5 is plus 172. Cubs plus 1.5 is minus 210. Reds are favored on the run line. Cubs are favored on the money line. 54.6% are the Cubs. Minus 116, I'm going to lay that with the Cubs. Rangers, Royals, John Gray and Jonathan Heasley. Rangers minus 152, Royals plus 128, over under 9, minus 110 each way. Rangers minus 1.5 is plus 114, Royals plus 1.5 is minus 137. I'm going with the Royals plus 128, and they're 48.9% to win, so I really like Kansas City here. 8:30, Dodgers, Rockies, Clayton Kershaw and Kyle Freeland. Dodgers minus 220, Rockies plus 184, over under 11.5, overs minus 104, unders minus 118. Dodgers minus 1.5 is minus 134, Rockies plus 1.5 is plus 112. I'm going with the juice under minus 118. That's ridiculous. That's too high. 9:30, White Sox, Angels, Johnny Cueto and Chase Silseth. This game is not on FanDuel either. But if the Angels are an underdog, I'll take them. They are 49.2 according to ESPN Analytics. And same for Chicago. Chicago's a dog. I'll take them. Pirates, D-backs, Sean Manaea and Zach Gallen. Padres minus 118, Diamondbacks even money, over under 7.5, overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Padres minus 1.5 is plus 146, D-backs plus 1.5 is minus 178. I'm going to go with the ballsy under 7.5 and minus 104. 9:45, the Tigers and the Giants, 2012 rematch. Tariq Skubal and Carlos Rodon. Giants minus 205, Detroit plus 172, over under 7, overs minus 108, unders minus 112. Tigers plus 1.5 is minus 134, Giants minus 1.5 is plus 112. I'm laying the 1.5 with the Giants plus 112. 84.5% according to ESPN Analytics. And they're plus money on the run line. And 10 o'clock, the Orioles against the Mariners, Dean Kremer and Robbie Ray. Mariners minus 168, Orioles plus 142, over under 7.5, minus 110 each way. Orioles plus 1.5 is minus 154, Mariners minus 1.5 is plus 128. I'm going to go with the over in this game. I know Dean Kremer's been pretty good, but I'm going to go with the over 7.5 in this game. All right, now I'll move on to the WNBA. We'll recap the games from yesterday and look ahead to today. Mercury over the Fever, 83-71. The Mercury 8-12. The Fever 5-15. Diana Taurasi, 27 points. Kelsey Mitchell, 22 and 4 assists. Aces over the Sparks, 79-73. The Aces, 14-4. The Sparks, 7-11. So I think the Sparks covered. Kelsey Plum, 29 points. And Nneka Ogwumike had 18 and 11. 2 games tonight. 7 o'clock on ESPN2. You have the Dream and the Mystics. The Dream are 8-10. The Mystics are 12-9. The Mystics are favored by 8.5. Total is 155.5. I'm going to go with the over. I think that's a low total. And I think the number's kind of right from a betting standpoint. And then 8 o'clock Commissioner's Cup game, the Wings and the Lynx. The Wings are 9-10, trying to get back to 500, and the Lynx are 5-14. The Lynx are favored by 2.5. Total is 165.5. Vegas knows line to me. The Lynx are favored, and they have a worse record. And it's under 3. I really like the Lynx minus 2.5 against Dallas. Really, really like that a lot. So that's going to be the play on that game. The next segment was recorded before all the action took place. Now I'm going to recap yesterday's Wimbledon results in both the men's and women's, and look ahead to this morning's matches in each of the men's and the women's. So I will start with the men's, go over results. We have some suspended results because of weather, as Daniel Altemeyer and Mikaela Moore was one of them suspended. Another suspended one, Jay Clark, Chris Harrison, Carlos Tarbonaire, and 15-seed Riley Opelka. We have a final 32-seed Oscar Ott over Peter Gojovic in 3 sets. Alexander Bublik over Marton Fuskevitz in 3 sets. Andy Murray over James Duckworth in 4 sets. We have Dusan Lajovic over 16-seed Pablo Carreno Busta in 2 sets in a walkover. Talon Griekspoor over Fabio Fognini in 4 sets. Milmor Keknovic over John Millman in 4 sets. 10-seed Jannik Sinner over Stan Wawrinka in 4 sets. Tim Van Rijthoven over Federico Delbonis in 3 sets. Jerry Vasily over Federico Coria in 3 sets. Alejandro Tablillo over Lasso There in 5 sets. 5-seed Carlos Alcaraz over Jan-Leonard Struff in 5 sets. Thanasi Kokkinos over Kamil Majrak in 3 sets. 20-seed John Isner over Enzo Couaud in 5 sets. 1-seed Novak Djokovic over Sumu Ku in 4 sets. 9-seed Cameron Norrie over Pablo Andujar in 3 sets. 22-seed Nicolas Basilashvili over Lucas Rosol in 5 sets. Alejandro Davidovich Fokina over 17-seed Hubert Hurkacz in 5 sets. Quentin Halys over Benoit Paire in 4 sets. Jaume Munar over Thiago Monteiro in 3 sets. Adrian Manarino over Max Purcell in 5 sets. Hugo Humbert over Tomas Echeverry in 5 sets. 23-seed Francis Tiafoe over Andrea Vavasori in 3 sets. 3-seed Casper Ruud over Albert Ramos Vinolas in 3 sets. Maximilian Marterer over Elijas Bedene in 4 sets. And last but not least, 30-seed Tommy Paul over Fernando Verdasco in 3 sets. All right. More first round action. So we have David Goffin and Rudul Albat will go Goffin in 4. Taro Daniel and 31-seed Sebastian Baez will go Baez in 3. Ryan Pennison and Henry Laxonen will go Laxonen in 4. Steve Johnson and 18-seed Grigor Dimitrov will go Dimitrov in 4. Marc-Andrea Huesler and Hugo Greener, we're going to go Huesler in 4. Pedro Martinez and Alex Molcon will go Martinez in 3. Zdenek Kolar and Benjamin Bonzi will go Bonzi in 4. Paul Jubb and Nick Kyragos will go Kyragos in 3. Joao Sosa and Richard Gasquet, we're going to go Sosa in 4. Mikhail Kukushkin and 29-seed Jensen Brooksby. We're going to go Kukushkin in 4 in an upset from a seeding standpoint. 19-seed Alex Demeter and Hugo Delian, we're going to go Demeter in 3. Sam Querrey and Ricardus Barancas, we'll go Querrey in 4. 18 Matteo Berrettini and Christian Garin, we're going to go Berrettini in 3. 24-seed Holger Rune and Marcos Giron, we're going to go Rune in 4. Bernabe Zapta Morales and Jack Sock, we're going to go Morales in 4. Alexei Popyrin and Hugo Gaston, we're going to go Popyrin in 3. Nuno Borges and Mackenzie McDonald, go McDonald in 4. Feliciano Lopez and 21-seeded Botek Van de Zandschulp, we're going to go Van de Zandschulp in 4. Brandon Nakashima and Nikola Kuhn, we're going to go Nakashima in 5. I think that's going to be a good match. 16 Felix Algarasalame and Maxime Cressy, we're going to go Algarasalame in 4. Emil Rusevori and Yoshihito Nishioka. That's going to be a great match. I'm going to say Nishioka in 5. I think that's the best one of the slate. 27 seed Lorenzo Sonego and Dennis Kudla. We're going to go Sonego in 4. Roberto Carabelas Baena and Jordan Thompson. We're going to go Carabelas Baena in 4. Francisco Cerundolo in 2 seed Rafael Nadal. We'll go Nadal in 3. Stefan Kozlov and 12 seed Diego Schwartzman. Go Schwartzman in 3. Zizou Bergs and Jack Darper. We go Bergs in 4. 26 seed Filip Krajinovic and Jerry Lecheka. We're going to go Krajinovic in 4. 13 seed Denis Shapovalov and Arthur Rigonetch. We're going to go Shapovalov in 3. Liam Brody and Lucas Colleen. We're going to go Brody in 4. Jason Kubler and 28 seed Dan Evans. We're going to go Evans in 4. Alistair Gary and Chengson Zheng. We're going to go with Zheng in 4, but I don't feel good about it. Attila Balaz and Roberto Bautista Agut. Your 17th here. We go Bautista Agut in 3. We have Dennis Novak and Facundo Bagnis. We're going Novak in 4. Daniel Galan and Dominic Kofer. We're going to go Kofer in 3. I think that's going to be a sweep. Alexander Richard and 4 seed Stefano Sipias. We'll go Sipias in 3. And Lorenzo Massetti and 11 seed Taylor Fritz. We're going to go with Fritz in 3. And the 2 canceled, we have Borna Koric and 12 seed Diego Schwartzman and Murray Silich and Mackenzie McDonald. Those matches canceled. And now we'll move on to the women's. We'll go over the results from yesterday. Look ahead to today. So some suspended ones because of weather. Tamara Korpach and Heather Watson. Astra Sharma and Tajana Maria. And 14 Belinda Bencic and Wang Qiang. And some finals. Arena Camelia Begu over Ekaterine Gorgoze in 2. 15 Angelique Kerber over Christina Mladenovic in 2. Magda Linette over Fernando Contreras Gomez in 2. Pana Yurvi over Tamara Zinasek in 2. An Lee over Lucia Bronzetti in 2. Dama Galfi over Madison Ingles in 3. Here's an upset. Marie Buskova upset 7 seed Danielle Collins in 3. Wow. Mai Hontama and Claire Towson. Hontama over Towson in 1 and a walkover. Another upset. Elisabetta Cucarato upsets 22 seed Martina Trevisan in 2. 26 seed Sarana Saresta over Alexandra Krunik in 2. Diane Perry upsets 31 seed Kaya Kanepi in 2. Kaja Juvan over 23 seed Beatrice Haddad Maya in 3. 10 seed Emma Raducanu over Allison Van Jorjovic in 2. 2 seed Annette Kontaveit over Bernarda Pera in 2. Caroline Garcia over Yuriko Mizaki in 3. Julie Niemeyer over Zhu Wang in 2. 24 seed Elise Mertens over Camila Osorio in 3 and a walkover. Katarzyna Kawa over Rebecca Marino in 3. 3 seed Ons Jabeur over Marija Bjorklund in 2. Maja Cholinska over Katerina Siniakova in 2. 29 seed Annalena Kanila over Anna Bondar in 3 sets. 28 seed Alston Risk over Yelena Alban in 2. Lesia Sarenko over Jody Anna Barrage in 2. And the match that got canceled, Madison Keys and Miskay Doi. Hopefully Madison Keys is okay, because I think that's who dropped out. All right, so today's matches, there's a lot of them, as was in the men's. So we got to get this done quick. Catherine Harrison and Arnaxa Russ. We're going to go with Harrison in 3. Martha Kasiuk and Katie Swan. We're going to go Swan in 3. 5 seed Maria Sakari and Zoe Hayes. We're going to go Sakari in 2. Elise Cornett in 2017. Yulia Punditseva. We're going to go Cornett in 3. I think that's an upset there. Mihila Bezarenko and Natasha Mariana Shunk. We're going to go Shunk in 3. Don't feel good about it, though. Daria Savale and Victoria Tomova. We're going to go with Tomova in 2. Claire Liu and Nuria Perezas Diaz. We're going to go with Perez Diaz in 3. Victoria Golubic and Andrea Petrovic. We're going to go Petrovic in 3. Ocean Dodin in 12 seed. Jelena Ostapenko in 2. Yania Wickmeyer and Zhu Lin. We're going to go Wickmeyer in 3. 33 seed Zhang Suhai and Miskay Doi. We're going to go Suhai Zhang in 3. Marina Zavenska and 13 seed Barbora Krejcikova. We're going to go Krejcikova in 3. Madison Brangle and Lauren Davis go Brangle in 3. Sonia Kartal and Danka Kovnovic. We're going to go Kovnovic in 3. 11 seed Coco Gauff and Elena Roos. We're going to go Gauff in 2. 18 seed Jill Teekman and Alja Tomtovic. We're going to go, let's go Tomtovic in 3 in an upset here. Kristen Flipkins and Jamie Forelas. We're going to go Flipkins in 3. Xinyu Wang and Amanda Anisimova. Your 20 seed, we're going to Anisimova in 2. 1 seed Iga Swiatek and over Jenna Finette in 2. We're going to go with 4 seed Paula Badosa and Luisa Chiricio. We're going to go Badosa in 2. Jasmine Paolini and 25 seed Petra Kvitova. We're going to go Kvitova in 2. Anna Bogdan and Diana Yastremka. We're going to go with Yastremka in 3. Irina Barra and Chloe Paquette. We're going to go Barra in 2. 32 seed Sarah Cerebus Tormo and Christina McHale go with Tormo in 2. Carolina Muchova and 16 seed Simona Halep. We're going to go with Halep in 2. 19 Cabrine Magruska and Greet Minen. We're going to go Magruska in 2. Quan Zhang and Solane Stevens. We're going to go Stevens in 3. Kristina Kusova and Laura Pigosi. We're going to go Kusova in 2. 21 seed Camila Grigori and Magdalena Fretch. We're going to go Georgi in 2. 30 seed Shelby Rogers and Petra Marchik. We're going to go with Marchik in 3 in an upset here. Serena Williams and Harmony Tan. Serena's winning that in 2. I can't wait to see Serena play. I'm so excited. Been so long. Clara Burrell and Katie Bolter. We're going to go with Bolter in 3. Coco Vandeweghe and 17 seed Elena Rebenko. We'll go Rebenko in 2. Rebecca Peterson and Anna Carolina Schmidlova. We're going Schmidlova in 3. Donna Vecek and 18 Jessica Pegula. We'll go Pegula in 3. Amina Betkas and Bianca Andreescu go Andreescu in 2. Teresa Martinkova and Carolina Pliskova. Your 60 will go Pliskova in 2. Rebecca Masarova and Harriet Darga Masarova in 2. And the first round that got canceled was 33 seed Zhang Suhai Zhang and 17 seed Elena Rybakina. So that is unfortunate on the women's side. All right, now we will move on to my NHL mock draft. This is the second one that I've done. The draft is in 9 days. Yes, July 7th, 9 days from now. So, here's my second mock draft. Number 1, Montreal Canadiens. Shane Wright, center, Kingston, OHL. It's only fitting that the Canadiens get the top overall pick in the year they host the draft, and here they take the draft's best player in Wright. He's the most complete two-way center in the draft, and he fills a huge need down the middle for the Habs. 2, the New Jersey Devils. Jarab Slavovsky, wing, TPS, Legia. The Devils have a need for offense, and the consensus choice for the Devils in this spot is Slavovsky. He has the size and strength to have an impact, and he would fit well with the Devils' talented setters. 3, the Arizona Coyotes. Logan Cooley, center. USA Under-18 National Team Development Program. There are some people that think Cooley should go second, but here I have them landing third, which the Coyotes would gladly take. Cooley is an excellent skater and has great skills with the puck. 4, the Seattle Kraken. Simone Nemec, defenseman. Nitra, SVK. The Kraken should simply just go with the best player available with their pick. Nemec is arguably the best defenseman in the draft due to his outstanding two-way play as well as his skating. 5, the Philadelphia Flyers. David Jiricek, defenseman. Plzeň, Czechoslovakia. I think that's what it is. Hang on. Czech Republic. There we go. The Flyers are a little unknown on what they will actually do here, but defense is a need, and Jirasek is a solid fit. A knee injury derailed him this past season, but he has potential to be a top pair defenseman. 6, the Columbus Blue Jackets from the Chicago Blackhawks. Matthew Savoy, center, Winnipeg, WHL. The Blue Jackets are in a rebuild of some sort now, and here I have them going with Savoy. He's one of the more dynamic skaters in the draft and has a ton of speed. 7, the Ottawa Senators. Frank Nazar, center, USA Under-18, NTDP. The Senators are another team that just simply should just go with the best player available, as Nazar is a fast riser come draft time. Nazar is a super smart player, and he has fast pace and a ton of energy. 8, the Detroit Red Wings. Joakim Kemell, wing, JYP, Finland. The Red Wings are a team that is desperate to get back to the postseason. Here I have them taking the talented winger. Kemell has potential to be a big-time scorer in the league, and the Red Wings use the type of player on the wing. 9, the Buffalo Sabres. Cutter Gauthier, wing, USA Under-18, NTDP. The Sabres have the longest playoff drought in the league, and for them to get where they want to be, just take the best player available. He's your classic power forward player with his ability to shoot the puck. 10, the Anaheim Ducks. Pavel Mintyukov, defenseman, Saginaw, OHL. The Ducks badly need defensemen after trading away Hampus Lindholm. Mintyukov is a physical player who is a defensive version of a power forward. 11, the San Jose Sharks. Denton Matejchuk, defenseman, Moose Jaw, WHL. The Sharks going defense here would be wise, considering Erik Karlsson isn't the same player anymore and Brent Burns is getting older. Matejchuk is a strong skater who is good at creating chances with the puck. 12, the Columbus Blue Jackets. Danila Yurov, wing, Magnitogorsk, Russia. Yurov is someone who is a bit of a wild card come draft night in terms of where he may be picked. His lack of production in the KHL could have some teams cautious in terms of drafting him this high. 13, the New York Islanders. Marco Kasper, center, Rogel, Sweden. The Islanders were the NHL's most disappointing team this past season, and I could see them looking to move this pick for an impact player. Kasper is a versatile player that has a ton of speed and work ethic. 14, the Winnipeg Jets. Connor Geekie, center, Winnipeg, WHL. This would be a fun pick, and the Jets here would take the hometown kid. Geekie is a super productive player that has great speed, but has some skating concerns. 15, the Vancouver Canucks. Ryan Chesley, defenseman, USA Under-18, NTDP. Here we have the 4th player from the Under-18 U.S. team going to Vancouver. Chesley is a solid 2-8 defenseman and does a great job at being a shutdown guy. 16, the Buffalo Sabres from the Vegas Golden Knights. Brad Lambert, center, Pelicans, Finland. With their second first rounder, I have the Sabres going with another forward. Lambert is a very skilled forward that has great work ethic and brings a lot to the table. 17, the Nashville Predators. Owen Pickering, defenseman, Swift Current, WHL. I love the thought of Pickering here from a fit standpoint to go with the talented defense the Preds have. Pickering is a strong skater and has the potential to become a solid 2-way defenseman. 18, the Dallas Stars. Isaac Howard, wing, USA Under-18, NTDP. The USA's U18 is going to produce a ton of talent from this draft. Howard was a part of the loaded team, so his skills were overshadowed, but is a very talented scorer and skater. 19, the Los Angeles Kings. Jimmy Snuggard, center, wing, USA Under-18, NTDP. The Kings overachieved this past season, and they look to add to the collection of young talent they have. Snuggard is one of the more improved players heading into the draft as he skates well and has the skills of a power forward. 20, the Washington Capitals. Liam Ogren, wing, Desjardins Jr., Sweden. The Capitals are a team that needs some more young talent in their farm system. Ogren is an explosive player with a ton of speed and plays with a ton of energy. 21, the Pittsburgh Penguins. Rucker McGrody, wing, Under-18, NTDP. The Penguins are another team that needs more youth in their farm system, and here I have them taking someone who could be a steal at the spot. McGrody is a super versatile player that is a good scorer, and he has good leadership skills. 22, the Anaheim Ducks from the Boston Bruins. Kevin Korchinski, defenseman, Seattle, WHL. With their second first rounder, I have the Ducks doubling down on defense. Korchinski has good playmaking skills for a defender. Is one of the better ones in the draft class. 23 to St. Louis Blues. Owen Beck, center. Mississauga, WHL. This time around, I have the Blues taking the talented center. Beck dropping this far could be a steal and is a great shutdown center who wins faceoffs. 24, the Minnesota Wild. Jagger Firkus, wing. Moose Jaw, WHL. The Wild, I think, are a candidate to trade their pick to help their team get closer to cup contention. Firkus dropping this far could be a steal as he's super talented offensively and has great creativity. 25, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Tristan Luneau, defenseman. Gautenow, QMJHL. The Leafs' biggest need in terms of youth is defense, and here I have them snagging a good one. Luneau is a smart and efficient player both ways and is great in the transition game. 26, the Montreal Canadiens from the Calgary Flames. Ivan Miroshnichenko, wing. Omsky, MHL. Miroshnichenko is a fast riser as the draft approaches next week. Grabbing him here would be a steal considering he was sidelined with Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is sad. But if he lives up to the hype to what he was before Hodgkins, this is a really interesting pick for Montreal and possible high reward situation. 27, the Arizona Coyotes from the Montreal Canadiens via the Carolina Hurricanes. Ty Nelson, defenseman, North Bay, OHL. The Coyotes get this pick in result of the Christian Dvorak trade, and here I have them going defense. Nelson is a tremendous in the defensive zone and really good in the transition game. 28, the Buffalo Sabres from the Florida Panthers. Luca Del Bel Baluz, center. Mississauga, WHL. With their third first rounder, I have the Sabres taking another center. Del Bel Baluz is a solid two-way center, but isn't that great of a skater. 29, the Edmonton Oilers. Philip Misar, center wing. HK Poprad, Slovakia. In theory, the Oilers should trade this pick for a goalie to help them get over the top, like the Avalanche did by getting Darcy Kemper. Misar is a highly skilled and creative winger that has good rate off the puck, although he does have some flaws. 30, the Winnipeg Jets from the New York Rangers. Julian Lutz, wing. Munchen, the DEL League. With their second first rounder, I have the Jets taking another forward. Lutz has blazing speed and it excels at puck handling and shooting the puck. 31, the Tampa Bay Lightning. Jiri Kulich, center. HC Energy, Czech Republic. The Lightning really do a great job rebooting their farm on the fly after trading pieces away or letting people go in free agency. Kulich is someone whose stock rose after a good U18 tournament, and he's a super physical player. 32, the Arizona Coyotes from the Colorado Avalanche. Leon Bichelle, defenseman. Leksand, Sweden. With their third first rounder, I have the Coyotes going defense again. Bichelle could be a steal here as he's an aggressive player and he moves well for his size. All right, so there's my hockey mock draft, and now I'm going to do primaries as we have some big ones tomorrow. New York, Colorado, Illinois, Oklahoma. We are starting with New York. That's the big one. We have a lot of people that listen to this very show that live in New York. So this is a big deal. So the incumbent governor is Kathy Hochul, and she obviously is running. And her two opponents are Thomas Suozzi, U.S. Rep for New York's 3rd Congressional District, and was a candidate in 2006. And Juame Williams, who is a city public advocate and was a candidate for lieutenant governor in 2018. So, I think Hochul will survive this. Do I feel good about it? I do, but part of me thinks that Hochul might be in trouble because she obviously has the ties to Andrew Cuomo and Andrew Cuomo's situation, and they kind of just want out of the mess that was Andrew Cuomo. And Kathy obviously has ties to Andrew Cuomo. They work together, so That's why I don't feel super duper about Kathy Hochul winning this, but I'm going to say Kathy Hochul, but a little bit of hesitation because there could be some voters out there, even from their own party, that feel that that disgust from Cuomo, which could cost Hochul a shot at winning this election in November. And on the Republican side, there are a ton of interesting candidates. Lee Zeldin, who is a U.S. rep for NY01, state senator from the 3rd District, formerly. Rob Astorino, Westchester County executive from 2010 to 2017, and was a gubernatorial nominee in 2014. Andrew Giuliani, the son of former mayor of New York City, Rudy Giuliani, and former special assistant to the president, and is a Newsmax TV contributor. And Harry Wilson, businessman and Republican nominee for comptroller in 2010. I think Giuliani's going to win this. I really do. I think that's an interesting subplot to this gubernatorial primary race. Obviously, the tie with his father. I know some people might be turned off by Rudy Giuliani, even in his own party, but I think that because of the name, people are going to recognize the name, and he was in the running for the Republican spot for mayor as well. Part of me wonders if Yankees president Randy Levine was kind of in play for governor here from a Republican standpoint, because I know he tried for New York City mayor, but that didn't work out. But I think it's going to be Andrew Giuliani against Kathy Hochul, and I think that would make for a very entertaining gubernatorial election in November for New York. I would be really fired up if that was it. I think that'd be the most fun gubernatorial election from like a media and covering standpoint in a long time. And then lieutenant governor is a big one in New York as well. For Democrat, we have Antonio Delgado, who's the current lieutenant governor, former U.S. rep from New York's 19th Congressional District. Anna Maria Archila, Senator for Popular Democracy, transition advisor and former co-executive director, co-founder of Make the Road New York. And Diana Reyna, deputy borough president of Brooklyn from 14 to 18, and NYC councilor from the 34th District from 01 to 13. Delgado's going to win this, I think. He's done the best job promoting himself for this candidacy to run again. So I'm going to say Delgado gets this spot. And then the presumptive nominee for the Republican side is Allison Esposito, former NYPD deputy inspector and commanding officer of Brooklyn's 70th precinct. So I think that's a wrap pretty much on that side. All right, Illinois now. That's a big one that we have to follow. A bunch of congressional districts that are up for grabs in Illinois here. But we also have a gubernatorial in Illinois as well. Their incumbent governor is J.P. Pritzker. He is seeking re-election. His opponent is Beverly Miles. Pritzker's going to win that. The question is the Republican side, who's his opponent. You have Darren Bailey, who's a state senator, Richard Irvin, the mayor of Aurora, Gary Rabine, a businessman, Paul Schimm, former state senator and nominee for the Attorney General in 2014, Jesse Sullivan, venture capitalist and founder of Alter Global, and Max Solomon, who's an attorney. I'm going to say it's going to be Darren Bailey, but I do not feel good about it. Wouldn't be shocked if it's Richard Irvin, but I'm going to go Darren Bailey to win the Republican primary to go up against J.B. Pritzker for governor of Illinois. All right, now we're going to do 1st District, Illinois. Democrat Party declared Kirby Bergens, Chris Butler, Jamal Cole, Jacqueline Collins, Pat Dowell, Jonathan Jackson, Amina Matthews, Darius Nix, Karen Norrington Reeves, Stephanie Rose Spalding, Jonathan Swain, Michael Thompson, and Therese Williams. A lot of people up for this. I'm going to, and by the way, Bobby Rush, the incumbent, he's going to retire, so they got to replace him. So I'm going to say Pat Dowell will win. He's a member of the Chicago City Council, so I think that Chicago tie is really going to help Dowell's candidacy here. And he has some nice endorsements, which is good. And the Republican primary, you have Eric Carlson, Gino Young, and Jeff Rinniger. I'm going to say Rinniger wins that. He's a New Lenox businessman. The endorsements aren't that great for either candidate. District 3 is a big one. Democrat declared Eman Shahidi, Delia Ramirez, and Gilbert Villages. I'm going to go with Delia Ramirez here, who's a member of the Illinois House of Reps. So I'm going to say Ramirez gets it. Really good endorsements, especially coming from two big senators in Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. So I think that Ramirez really has that going for her. And then you have Justin Barrow, who's a real estate consultant, going for the Republican Party. So that should be a wrap there. The 6th District, Democrat primary declared you have Sean Casten, Charles Hughes, and Marie Newman. This is a tough one. I think Marie Newman might win this, who is an incumbent U.S. rep. So is Sean Casten. Due to redistricting, the borders of several districts in Chicago area are changed dramatically. The two, in the opening stages of the campaign, both Casten and Newman declared an intent to run on their legislative records and to declare that they would not campaign negatively against each other. I'm going to say Marie Newman wins, but I do not feel strongly about it. And then the Republican primary is actually interesting in this district. It's Nikki Conforti, Rob Cruz, Gary Grasso, Scott Casper, Catherine O'Shea, John Osmond, and Keith Picow. I'm going to say it's going to be Gary Grasso, mayor of Burr Ridge, and was a candidate for Attorney General of Illinois in 2018. So I think that Gary Grasso has some stuff going for him. 7 in Illinois. You have two going up against each other for Democrat, who is the incumbent Danny Davis, and then Keena Collins. Davis will win that. The 8th District, Democrat Party, you have the incumbent Raja Krishnamurti. I think she'll get through. Her opponent is Junaid Ahmed. And then the Republican primary, you have Chris Dargis, Chad Coppy, Peter Kosfasis, and Philip Wood. I'm going to say Coppy because he's been a perennial candidate in the past. So I think that helps his cause. District number 13 is another one that we got to keep our eyes out for. Republican primary, Regan Deering, Matt Hossman, Terry Martin, and Jesse Raising. I think some of them have done good from endorsements. I'm going to say that Jesse Raising might win this, even though his endorsements are not publicly stated. So, one of them is. So I'm going to say Jesse Breezing, but I don't feel strongly about it. And then the Democratic primary, there's two, Nikki Budzinski and David Palmer. Budzinski's going to run away with the Democratic side, I think, for the 13th district. And last but not least, the 17th district. This is another interesting one. The incumbent is Cherry Bustos, not seeking re-election. So wide open on the Democratic side. Jonathan Loegman, Jackie McGowan, Angie Normile, Eric Sorensen, Letitia Wallace, and Marsha Williams. I'm going to say Letitia Wallace. I think she does a good job promoting, and her endorsements are good. So I'm going to say Letitia Wallace. There in Republican primary, you have Charlie Hemlick and Esther Joy King. I'm going to say Esther Joy King wins. She was a nominee for the 17th Congressional District in 2020, so I'm going to say she gets through on the Republican side of things. So, obviously, two big ones there, but we have to go through two more gubernatorials. We'll do Colorado right now. They are looking for their Republican side of it. And they actually have a Constitution Party. Danielle Neuschwagner is the nominee. And then Jared Polis, who's their current governor, is being reelected. So, the Republican primary that we're looking at here in Colorado for governor is Heidi Ganahl, who's a member of the Regents of the University of Colorado, and Greg Lopez, who used to be a mayor of the town of Parker, ran for governor in 2018, Senate in 2016. So it's a tough one. I'm going to say Heidi Ganahl wins. She has some good support endorsements, so I don't feel good about it, but I'm going to say Heidi Ganahl will win and go up against Jared Polis and Danielle Neuschwagner for Colorado governor. And last but not least, in terms of election primaries, is Oklahoma gubernatorial. So we have an independent running, Irvin Yen. So we have both Republican and Democrat in the air. But the Democrat one is the more in the air one, as incumbent Republican Governor Kevin Stitt announced his intention for re-election. So Stitt should win. His opponents are Joel Kinsel, Moria McCabe, and Mark Sherwood. I think Stitt will go through, gets a ton of endorsements in the state. And then the Democrat side, we have two nominees, Joy Hofmeister, who is the Oklahoma State Superintendent of Public Instruction, and Connie Johnson, former state senator from 16 to 14, former vice chair of the Oklahoma Democratic Party, and a nominee for Senate in 2014, candidate for governor at 18. I think that Johnson will get it because she's done so much and has a better resume. So I'm going to say Connie Johnson wins the Democratic primary for the state of Oklahoma. So that was a lot of gubernatorial talk for today. Now I'm going to go over the latest news and notes. Big injury with the Phillies. Bryce Harper out indefinitely with the fractured thumb, but plans to come back this season, as Bryce is expected to need surgery. Big loss for the Phils. I mean, there's no other way to put around it. He's been their MVP. He was the MVP of the National League last year, and now he fractured his thumb. So it's just unfortunate news for the Phillies. Some good news for the Brooklyn Nets. KD is expected to stay with the Nets, as Durant is very loyal and expected to remain with Kyrie in New York after Kyrie tells Shams that he is picking up the $37 million option and committing to Brooklyn after rumors that he may leave. And this was after Brian Windhorst reported that Brooklyn would rather lose Kyrie and KD than go through what they went through last season. So, I think that the Brian Windhorst thing's fake news. And I think Woj and Shams are on the money here. So that's good news for the Brooklyn Nets and bad news for the rest of the NBA because we all love drama in the NBA in terms of off-season buzz and whatnot. The Rockets bought out John Wall. And he plans to sign with the Los Angeles Clippers after he clears waivers. So I like the idea of John Wall on the Clippers with Kawhi and Paul George. And I think John Wall, being the third best guy on that team, conceivably would work out. And the only team that was apparently rumored to eye Kyrie other than Kyrie staying with the Nets was the Lakers. And LeBron was open to the idea of Kyrie potentially going back to be playing with him. Jaylen Brown's Twitter was interesting from yesterday as he may feel disrespected by fans amid rumors of his future in Boston. I think Jaylen Brown will still be a Celtic. I would be surprised if he was traded. Here's some important news. The Brittany Griner trial set for July 1st as the Russian court sets the date after her February arrest on cannabis possession charge. So July 1st is the court date for Brittany Griner. And hopefully she's back in America and playing for the Mercury sooner rather than later. Vladimir Nichushkin's injury photo came out as he notched 23 minutes of ice time during a gruesome foot injury. And it's a really, really gross picture. So there was lawsuit filed against the Texans as the plaintiff's lawyer in the Watson case announces the first suit has been filed against the Texans for allegedly enabling the quarterback's behavior. This is going to be going on for a long time, guys. Adrian Peterson and Le'Veon Bell are in talks about a potential fight next month at Los Angeles' Crypto.com arena. That would be interesting if those two put on the boxing gloves. 2022 Hall of Fame inductees for hockey are out, and among them, Roberto Luongo, Henrik and Daniel Sedin, and Daniel Friedson. That's a solid group right there. And Luongo and the Sedin twins are first ballot Hockey Hall of Famers, which is incredible. And those guys were all teammates, too, in Vancouver. So that is pretty neat. Jaden Rashada says reports of involvement in an NIL deal are inaccurate and didn't factor into his school decision. That's the Miami commit. With the NIL deal we talked about on the show last week. So we'll see if there's more to that or not. There is no relocation fee for the Athletics as the league wouldn't charge Oakland for a move to Vegas because the league wants a team in Southern Nevada. There are 12 people suspended after the big brawl that took place between the Mariners and the Angels, including Angels manager Phil Nevin and Mariners outfielder Jesse Winker. So that's crazy. Jock Peterson's former Braves teammate says he didn't leave the clubhouse for 3 days to dodge Tommy Pham. I'm telling you, this is still going to go on. Non-sports news. Ireland Baldwin, the child of Alec And Kim, raped as a teen, had abortion later in life. There was a Dunkin' customer sought for throwing objects at a New Jersey drive-thru worker and smashing windows. Yikes. This is sad. At least 50 injured after Amtrak train collides with a dump truck and derails in Missouri. That's really sad. And 40 plus found dead in the back of the tractor trailer in presumed smuggling attempt in Texas. That's also very sad. And the last non-sports news item, there's a heckler charged with assault after confronting Rudy Giuliani. Alrighty. Last but not least, my best bet of the day, brought to you by FanDuel. There's a couple I like. I obviously won with yesterday with the under in the Dodger game. And I might as well just go there again because that is just a very high number. And I just don't think the Rockies are going to hit Clayton Kershaw. I just don't. I know the over in the Orioles-Mariners game is intriguing too. But I'm going with under 11.5 in the Rocks and the Dodgers again. So laying 1 unit under 11.5 between the Dodgers and the Rockies for my best bet of the day. All right, so that's it for today's show. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything and looking ahead to everything going on tomorrow. We have a golf tournament to pick. Maybe we'll have an activity. We'll see. And then obviously news and notes and best bet for you as well. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.